What's going on, guys? This is Martyrs Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Killzone Shadow Fall. Alright guys, this is yet another upload featuring the Scout class, which is my personal least favorite. Doesn't mean that the Scout class is bad. Personally, it's just my least favorite, right? Now just keep in mind there's a big difference between something being bad and something being your least favorite, right? But we don't need to give any English classes around here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a remote C4 on the beacon because we are doing beacon theft. And you know, I think I mentioned this in the previous video. I really hate the fact that you can no longer use your remote to activate the C4. Now watch this. Ding, got it. Carrier killer with the remote C4. You guys notice that? All you Scout class players, you can benefit the team. Now either you can go ahead and activate it as soon as they pick it up, or you can try to activate it a little bit as they run off, right? But I like to do it right after they pick up, right? Because that increases our likeliness to pick up the beacon after they die and after the beacon falls. All right, so looks like we're down so far. They have returned a beacon, and you know, we have returned 0. But I'm just going to sit back, take a defensive position because hey, I'm Scout class. It's not like I can really go out and run and gun. All right, so someone did a good old job with the ground support turret right there. Serve as a slight deterrent for anyone who may you know, go ahead and deploy from the base camp. And hopefully someone took it down. It looks like they did, so we're good. I'm kind of safe at this point. Alright, so I'm just gonna basically just patrol this area until another beacon deploys, and I'm just gonna drop yet another either laser trip mine or remote C4 on the beacon, and hopefully that will help. Yep, here we go. Alright, just gonna go right back up to my post. Now, like I said before, I really hate the fact that, you know, if you have your activator out and for whatever reason you need to go into cloak, I think it's broken that once you go into cloak, you cannot return to your remote C4 detonator. Like, in other words, why does the cloak negate the remote C4 detonator if you didn't use it? That doesn't really make any sense, you know. And maybe I'll kind of send that in to GG. Hopefully it's a mishap and it's a mistake and they can do something about it. It was so hard to see that guy until obviously it was too late. All right, so I think in this particular war zone I went like 28 and 26, basically still at a 1-0, but it sucked. Right? And like I said before, I don't know if it sucked because I just need more practice with it, but I mean, from my own perspective, it sucks because, you know, whenever you get into a gunfight, like, you're gonna lose. Like, unless the person that you're faced against just sucks with the aiming, you're basically gonna lose. You cannot, you know, get in a good fight. I mean, you can't even defend yourself. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to understand. Like, whenever you hear people excuses for Scout class being in the rear, first thing they'll say is well, you're not supposed to be on the front lines and all that. Okay, I understand you're not supposed to be on the front lines, but if you're not at least somewhat close to the front lines, like, how can you really benefit the team? I don't see how you can benefit the team if you're not relatively close. Now, I understand that, you know, you're not going to be in there like the assault class, but with some of the explosion options that you have, you know, the remote C4, the laser trip mines, you're going to have to get in somewhere. And until you're able to drop some of these explosions, or, you know, may it be that I forgot what that thing is that flies around and stun, the stun drone. You know, in order for you to take full advantage of some of those abilities, you're going to have to get in close. Because if you don't get in close, how do you really take advantage of the stun drones and some of your explosions? I don't know. But you know, maybe if we can get some pros out here to upload some scout class videos and to add commentaries, maybe they can help explain to everyone. Because you know, I've searched YouTube on videos with the scout class, and most of what I've seen is basically scout class montages, right, to just showcase cloak kills. But I haven't really noticed too many videos wherein someone is actually playing it from beginning to end. And we're not talking about posting clips, because like I said before, it's real convincing, you know, for you to just post your best clips together and you say, you know, Exhibit A, this is how you can own with the scout class. Okay, yeah, piecing clips together is not owning with the scout class. Piecing clips together is basically showing your best footage. And this is why I like to show full videos, right? Because I never want to give anyone the impression that I'm some, you know, big shot John Rambo, because I'm not. I play the game because I like it and I enjoy it. And, you know, any information that I can share that is helpful to anyone else, I like to put the information out there. Okay, so he beat me to the punch. Now, you know, one thing that I've experienced, I don't know if it's a problem with my controller, but every now and then, whenever I try to aim down the sights, for whatever reason, it'll just automatically become unlocked. And I have that problem every now and then. I don't, you know, maybe I need to turn my controller in. Because it was actually plugged into the console, so you can't make the argument that, you know, maybe your controller was dying. But I have that problem every now and then. Like, I'll try to target, look through the sights, and all of a sudden it'll just become unlocked off the target, even though my finger is still on the, let's see, what is that? Oh, left one trigger. I don't know, I might have to get a new remote or something like that. Alright, so he wasn't really paying attention, so I'm going to go ahead and get a melee and take down that spawn beacon, slow him down a little bit. Hopefully there's not another spawn beacon somewhere around here. Alright, actually I got real lucky with that. His aiming must have been bad, because I doubt if I took him by surprise, because it looked like we saw each other at the same time. And it wasn't a headshot. Right, so I think maybe his aiming was bad or something, because I mean, if you get outclassed by a spore, something is wrong. Alright, so I'm just going to sit back, wait a little bit in the background, try to get yet another remote C4 kill, because I think I need like 200 kills with this to satisfy all of the unlocks for the remote C4 explosion field. Come on, we need some kind of hard charging player to come try to deactivate it. Come on, 30 seconds. Oh, there we go. Doing. Alright, so we got an attacker kill. So we're good to go. And I got the demolition man because he was not able to deactivate it. So I'm going to try to go ahead and get a tag kill. In addition to the tag kill being beneficial to myself, it will also, like I said once again, identify the locations of these guys to my team. So, you know, in the event that they're hard charging, they can back up and say, holy shit, there's a guy coming around the corner. And that's why I say in some cases you kind of have to be on the front line with these scout class, because, you know, if I was, let's just say I was all the way back with my fours and I used the spot mark, like, no one would see where the targets were. The only person that would benefit is myself, because it will let me know, you know, who's coming around me. But I mean, that doesn't really help anyone but myself. Now, for a lot of you guys like to camp these upper portions of these maps, right? Because I know a lot of you guys like to do that. Let's just say you want to play as an individual, which is cool. I mean, everyone has their own preferences. But if that's the case, one thing that you can do, because I know that you guys get trolled a lot by having guys come up the top of the ladders and try to get rid of you. Well, one thing that I do when I camp with the spore, I mean with the fours rather, like I'll drop a laser trip mine at the top of the ladder, right? So as soon as they come up at the top of the ladder, guess what? They get an explosion. And once I see an explosion, it lets me know that I probably need to move locations. Because if I've been getting a few kills in somebody's going to get tired of me killing them with my sniper rifle, and they're going to try to come take me out. Either they're going to try to take me out with their own sniper rifle, or they're going to try to take me out by coming to, either doing a brutal melee me or something like that with some good old close quarters combat. Right? So I try to minimize that as best as I can by just dropping a laser trip mine right at the top of the ladder. Now obviously the remote C4 wouldn't be a good option because you need to be able to see them to activate the remote C4. So would that be an ideal choice? I wouldn't say so, but everyone has their own preferences. Alright, so we're still defending, and it looks like they got rid of B. So now we have to obviously defend A. So by checking the map, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in at the closest location. Now that's another thing, especially for a lot of you new guys. You guys really need to get familiar with these maps and familiarize yourself with the spawn beacon locations. In other words, don't just spawn in at a location only because you see a beacon, right? Because think about it. In some cases, there's multiple beacons. And if there's multiple beacons, you probably want to spawn in closer to the objective, right? Because I know in some cases where, let's just say there's a search and destroy, right? And there's multiple beacons up. Now let's just say we already activated, let's just say target B, but they didn't take their spawn beacon down. Well, if I die in between, why would I spawn in at a spawn beacon that's obviously far from the next objective? Right? So in other words, I know some of you guys may want to hurry up, get in on the fight, get in on the action, get your kills in and all that. But you also want to keep in mind, where is this spawn beacon relative to the objective? And is it more beneficial for me to spawn in at that spawn location, or is it more beneficial for me to spawn in at the base camp? All right, so that's yet another thing to keep in mind when you guys are making these tactical decisions. All right, so it looks like they are going to explode A. We got this hot shot right here, taking care of people as they come in from the base. And I mean, they've kind of got everything going on. I mean, they got turrets, they've got campers, but it wasn't good enough. And actually it looks like I threw the remote C4 on him, which was a big mistake. Oh god, that's frustrating, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. So at this point we're tied 1-1. And I mean, they've pulled out all the stops. I mean, they've got multiple air drones. I mean, I think is that 3 air drones? Okay, it looks like that's 3 air drones. So they really want this objective, and they're really doing a good job at attacking it, but we're also doing a good job at defending, because if you guys notice, they weren't able to take advantage of it. Alright, so we just got 2 brutal melee kills right there. 1 death from above and another a close quarters combat. And somehow I got stuck. I was getting ready to suicide, but I don't know. After I got that second brutal melee, I was stuck and I couldn't move. Right, and it wasn't because my controller was locked, because it was attached to the PS4. That was kind of weird. I came real close to suicide just to get me back into the action, but luckily I died. So I'm just lucky that I didn't get locked out of the game. Alright, so we're still defending. And there's 20 seconds left. And actually, this right here, I know in Killzone 3, if you found one of those markers, you could actually shoot it, and the air drone would actually go away. But as you guys could just see for yourself, you can't shoot those little beacons, right? Because once they're on the ground, you can't get rid of them. And I think they should change that. Because in other words, if I go out my way to find where those air drone beacon locations are, I should be able to shoot it down. But, maybe it's an oversight. Maybe that's how they intended it. Alright, so we are doing the capture and connect. So it looks like it's neutral at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my cloak. Maybe I can get 1 or 2 kills in if an attacker approaches. So let me just kindly get out of his way. Try to lay okay. Not fast enough on the draw. So I attempted to throw down a laser trip mine down. So in the event that I died, at least I could, try to get an explosion, but He killed me before I was able to toss it, so I mean, just kind of is what it is. Alright, got another death from above, brutal melee kill. Try to take advantage of this guy. Alright, got another cloak kill payback. Alright, so I'm going to throw this right on the point. If you guys notice, they're pretty aggressive at taking B. And looks like they're going to approach A real soon. So I've got to do something about that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch off to the remote C4, and hopefully that will do something. But like I said before, that's only insofar as I can stay alive. Alright, so that's a failed attempt on deactivating that turret. Looks like they are maintaining B and attacking A at the same time. And you know, this is one of those times where I am so tempted just to go back to what I do best, you know, either support class or assault class. But you know, if you really want to get good with these other classes, you know, sometimes you just really have to resist that temptation. Because you know, when you're trying to use the Spore, you know, for close quarters combat, or you know, some of these other weapons, and you're just dying because you're outmatched in a gunfight, it is so easy to say, you know what, screw this, I'm going back to either support class or assault class. But by doing that, you'll never actually get better, right? And that's only if it's a class that you want to get better at. Me personally, I'm not necessarily trying to get better with the scout class. I'm basically just trying to satisfy a lot of these unlocks, and you know, trying to be as tactical as I can while I'm serving that purpose. But I swear, as soon as I'm done with these unlocks for this class, sayonara scout class, right? You won't see the brigade anymore. Alright, so got some tags. Try to get another tag kill, and we got a draw. Alright, so that's my second and final. Actually, I won't say that for sure. Might be my final scout class video. So hey, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, Martyr's Brigade is